Hey guys, welcome to 2 Minute Coder. Today we're doing Leetcode problem 208, which is implement a trie, or a prefix tree. Alright, so just take a moment to pause the video and read the question. Alright, so upon reading the question, you can kind of understand that we're going to have to make a node of some sorts, right? And each node is going to be a character in each word, right? So let's make a class node, and let's give it some properties. So this node is going to have a character value. It's going to have children, which is just going to be an array of nodes. Okay. And why is it going to be children? Because we're basically going to make a tree, right? So the parent is going to be T, and T's child is going to be R, then R's child is going to be I, and so on and so forth, right? So whenever we get another word that, for example, like we're doing it here, right? So APPLE, they're all going to be children of the preceding character, right? So, for example, if we wanted to add apples, right, we would traverse down this apple, right, this apple tree, and then after E, we would just make a new node of S, right? So that's why we have children nodes, okay? And we'll also have a Boolean which indicates if the node that we are on is that the end of the word, right? So for APPL, is word is going to be false, but for E, it's going to be true. So that's how we know that the word is apple and not apples, right? So let's make a constructor as well. And actually, this constructor will take in a character value, and we're just going to set, right, value equals to value, this dot children is equal to new node 26, because there's 26 characters in the alphabet, and this dot is word initially is set to false, right? And then let's declare our node, so node root, and then in this initializer we can say root is equal to new node and give it a dummy value of 0, right? Now let's move on to inserting, right? So to insert, let's first make a pointer to root, okay? And then for each character in this word, we're first going to check if the character exists in our tree, right? So if node.children, and then this is how we are indexing our children, is equal to null, then let's insert a new node of C value, right? So node.children C minus A is equal to new node of value C, right? But if it isn't null, then we're just going to traverse to that node, right? And then at the end of this for loop, so at the final character of the word, node.isWord is equal to true, right? So we mark that, okay, this word is done now. Now how do we search? First initialize a node that points to root, and again, for each character in this word, if this node does not contain or does not have a child of this letter, then we can return false, right? Because it just doesn't exist, right? But if it does exist, then we traverse to that specific node. And once we have traversed all of the characters in that word, let's just check to see if that node marks the end of the word, right? And it's kind of the same logic with this starts with, right? So point to root, go through the prefix, and if is basically the same code to traverse our trie, right? If it's null, then we just return false. Otherwise, we traverse to that node, right? But instead of because starts with, we don't need the end node to be, or like end nodes is word to be true, right? So we just need to see if it's null or not, right? So if it's not equal to null, then we know that that prefix exists, right? So let's run this. Perfect. So I think you guys have noticed that in these two functions, we kind of have very similar code, right? So to just make it a little bit cleaner, what we can do is we can have a helper function. So this will return a node, and let's just call it find, okay? And we will take in a string, let's just call it a word, okay? And we're just gonna implement the same code here, right? So for character C in this word, if node.children, this is how we index is equal to null, then we just return null, okay, instead of returning false, because this is returning a node, all right, this function. Otherwise, traverse to that node. And then finally, we return this node. Okay, so in our search function, all we have to do is grab this node, right? So it's going to be find and put our word, and we have to return, it can't be null, right? For this to be true, cannot be null, and it has to be a word, right? So this is our expression. If both of these evaluate to true, then we know that yes, this word is present because it's not null, and the end node that we're returning here is true, right? The is word is true. Similarly for this one, let's do the same thing. So find, input this prefix, and here basically all we need to know is like this can't be null, right? So let's run this first, check to see if we didn't make any mistakes. Yeah, perfect. And now let's submit to see all the test cases. Right? Okay, great. So that was Leetcode problem 208. Hope you guys enjoyed, and subscribe for more.